Mr. Speaker, I am prepared to close and I yield myself the balance of my time.
Ladies are recognized.
Mr. Speaker, this rule is pretty straightforward. With respect to the continuing resolution, it's simple. It's a clean, short-term continuing resolution to prevent disruptions to national security and programs that our constituents depend on. It's a bill that extends government funding until November 21st. What my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are trying to argue for, they're trying to insist that a health care discussion gets inserted into this, but that is not a debate for a September funding matter. They're really trying to insert unrelated matters into the middle of a clean government extension.
Patriots, listen up! Chicago is on the front lines of America's fight against lawlessness, and the question is simple. Are we going to stand with civilization or let anarchy win? Today, we're reacting to comments from the administration about cracking down on organized street violence. And let me tell you, this is a conversation every American needs to hear. Before we dive in, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family, because the mainstream media sure isn't going to tell it to you straight. Let's get this message out to as many patriots as possible.
Extension. And I don't think that's going to work, because if the government shuts down because they're making this last stand, something that we will be addressing in the future, it will solely be blamed on Democrats if the government shuts down, because we are not playing politics with this at all. We're just trying to keep the lights on. And what they're trying to do is insert a last-ditch effort to regain their footing because their party is reeling right now. This clean extension of government funding will ensure that the government remains open and working for the nation. It shouldn't be partisan, but if Democrats force a shutdown, it could cost the American taxpayer billions due to back-paid furloughed workers, increased costs from delayed starts, and constrained economic growth. No matter how hard the Democrats will try to characterize this CR, they tried to characterize this as a partisan maneuver, always claiming that we're hurting every special interest group. It can't make it true. Remember, virtually every single House Democrat voted for the last 4 years under the Biden administration voted yes on every continuing resolution. In fact, over the last several years, many Democrats, including Democrat leaders, have made comments about the harm a government shutdown would cause. Minority leader says it's about the harm. Families will be hurt. Farmers will be hurt if the government shuts down. Others have said, let's take a moment to see what's truly at the center of this story. It's about the service members who will work without a paycheck. Some House Democrats accused House Republicans of leading the country toward a reckless government shutdown that will take food off the table for mothers and children and force service members to work without pay. Make no mistake, if Democrats vote against this simple government funding bill that will extend funding to November 21st, they are the very people who are hurting those who they have claimed Republicans have perpetually tried to hurt, and unfairly and untruly. So, Mr. Speaker, again, this rule is straightforward. First and foremost, we're here to honor the life of a husband, a father, a friend. Charlie Kirk was a proud American and a happy warrior for his faith and this country that he loved. The kind of person that inspired millions to engage in our democracy. It is right that we take the time as a body to honor him and condemn political violence in all forms. Finally, and secondly, we must keep the government open and allow the appropriations process to continue. While CRs, continuing resolutions, are never ideal, and by definition, they are not all-encompassing. If we're truly to address the many issues before this body as a country, we cannot do that under a government shutdown. We must let the appropriations process continue. I look forward to moving these bills out of the House this week, and I ask my colleagues to join me in voting yes on the previous question and yes on the rule. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time, and I move the previous question on the resolution.
All right, let's talk about what we just heard. The administration is crystal clear. There's no place for organized street violence in America, and they're absolutely right. For far too long, gangs, thugs, and even foreign cartels have been allowed to poison our cities. Chicago is a prime example, It's heartbreaking, and it's infuriating. Now, here's the part that should wake everybody up. The Democrat Party, from the judges to the lawyers to the activists, keeps protecting these criminals. Cops say they can't even arrest people, and when they do, criminals are released immediately, only to kill, rob, and assault again. How is that justice? How is that protecting the American people? It's not. It's enabling chaos. This is a line in the sand, folks. Either you stand with law and order, with civilization, or you stand with anarchy. And I, for one, stand with America. I stand with President Trump using federal law enforcement and the National Guard to clean up our cities. Because every American deserves to live free of fear, free of violence, and free of thugs running the streets. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Should the federal government step in when local leaders refuse to act? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get this conversation rolling. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and share this video so more patriots know the truth.